She's got long legs and short shorts, but she ain't got no teeth. She wears a red bandana on her head, and she smiles so sweet. She'll steal your heart, a very first sight should rip apart your soul. She'll torture your mind and waste your time and drag you down the road, 'cause she's a Jezebel, St. Andrew Jezebel, 'cause she's a Jezebel, St. Andrew Jezebel.
Hey y'all, thank you for pressing play on the St. Andrews Jezebel podcast. My name is Ashley Feller. I'm a third-generation Panama City native, and I'm also a singer-songwriter. This week I'll be going over community events for the week of November 11th. Also, this week's guest is JD Justice of Palmetto Paint. We've got some great guests coming up, which include Eli Ingram, Sandi Marlisa, and also Nicole from Lavished Ministries, and also Garrett J. Brown. So lots of great guests to look forward to. This week's old news segment, I've got a story from the St. Andrews Bay News from this week in history in 1928. We've got a lot of cool things to get through, so get yourself a nice warm drink and enjoy the show. I need to tell you about an important fundraiser tonight at Little Village. It's from 6 to 9, and this is a free benefit concert for Sean Thomas and his family. They were hit head-on by a drunk driver on Highway 231 and tragically lost their lives. The musicians that will be performing are Thomas Hendon, Kelsey Tylor, and John Ceasar. Donations for the family are gratefully appreciated, and my heart goes out to the Thomas family and all their friends. My deepest condolences. Are you a homeschooler? Every Friday at Gypsy Beach, they have a homeschool art class designed just for you. They supply all the art supplies and the art education. Ms. Roberta is a certified Bay County school art teacher who is able to sign off on your homeschooler's art education requirements. You can call Kathy at 904-451-3071 to register your homeschooler for these fun and educational classes. In case you haven't heard, Bergen Barrel has reopened. This Friday, they'll be starting Fettuccine Friday. Be sure to ask the bartenders what the dish will be. And then, of course, every Saturday morning is the market at St. Andrews from 8 to 1. There's live music, food trucks, arts and crafts vendors, and lots more. This is a great chance for you to shop locally and get all your holiday gifts. Have you tried Sweet Feed's new fall treats? I was just looking at their Facebook page, and some include pecan pie rolled cream, cranberry orange rolled cream, caramel apple milkshakes, and also a cinnamon roll milkshake. There's also pumpkin pie, cherry pie, and apple pie rolled creams as well. Why not take your little ones for a special treat this weekend? This Saturday night, songwriting extraordinaire Anthony Peebles will be playing for you at Los Angejitos starting at 6 p.m. Make sure you bring your friends and enjoy all their margaritas and the wonderful music by Anthony. Also this Saturday night, there's a great duo from out of town playing at Little Village. They're called Boo Radley, and I think you'll just love them. They harmonize beautifully, and they have fantastic songs. This is the perfect time to bring your sweetheart out for a date night and enjoy a delicious meal at Little Village under their spacious palapa hut. For Sunday, I recommend visiting Alice's for brunch. They have tasty mimosas, several Benedict dishes, and they have great live music, and I believe it starts at 10:30 a.m. If you've got the blues by Monday, then I suggest you visit Little Village this Monday night for Blues and the Drews featuring Martin Rodriguez and Bill Anderson, and they'll be starting at 6 p.m. Also, there's Monday Night Little Fest at the Tap Room, also from 6 to 9. This is a weekly music showcase of local musicians in the area. They've got a great selection of craft beers and a lovely courtyard with fireplaces. I just found this on the Panama City Publishing Museum Facebook page. November is Native American Heritage Month, and the gallery wall exhibit at the Panama City Publishing Company Museum is Native Americans in St. Andrews. Who were they? When were they here? What evidence is left behind? Celebrate the rich and vibrant cultures first in this area. Come check out this introductory exhibit between November 2nd through November 24th. For more information on Native American history on the Gulf Coast, visit our exhibit partner, Native Spirit Museum and Gallery. Also check out the Bay County Public Library Local History Room, visit Oaks by the Bay Park, and download the Florida Stories app. The museum is open Tuesday through Friday from 1 to 5:30 and Saturday mornings from 9 to 1. That's all the community events I have time for this week. Tune in next week for more. One of the best things about St. Andrews is that you can see live music every day. That's right. There is live music being played somewhere in St. Andrews 7 nights a week. Fortunately, my friend Ken Schaefer creates and publishes a weekly schedule for St. Andrews as well as most of Bay County. Ken's spreadsheet schedule is updated often when there's any changes. Ken also shares individual music events and is walking the walk and talking the talk when it comes to supporting live music. Not only does Ken supply the music schedules, but he attends several music performances a week and takes fantastic photos of the musicians. As a working musician myself, I feel blessed to have Ken and his wife Donna as treasured members of our local musical family. Make sure you like and follow Ken's page, Salty Sounds in St. Andrews, and Oh Boy Music on Facebook, so that you'll always know where all the live music will happen. Thank you so much, Ken, for everything you do. Today we are here with JD Justice. And good morning, JD. Thank you for being here. For those who are unfamiliar, what is Palmetto Paint and how'd you get your start and what kinds of things are y'all doing in the community?
So Palmetto Paint is a fundraising project. We are almost officially nonprofit. We just finished up the paperwork for that. Waiting on that to come back hopefully before the end of the month. That was my October project, was getting all that paperwork finalized. But we work with local nonprofits and charities to host fundraisers. We act like a fiscal sponsor for them. So they sponsor the event and they get $30 from every person that comes into the event. So that's our main focus. We also do paint classes, like private classes and things like that.
That's awesome. And so when y'all are doing these fundraising for nonprofits, how do you go about determining who's you're going to help out?
So as long as it is a registered 501c3 organization, we will host a fundraiser for them. Local nonprofits and charities get preference. We've hosted events for Lavished Ministries. We're about to host one for Salty Cats of St. Andrews. And we've done them for the Vet Center of Bay County and multiple other charities as well.
That's awesome. And so when you are doing these fundraisers, what do they typically look like?
So you come in, everything is set up, ready to go for you. Your canvas is at your spot, your paint's ready to go. You got an apron you can put on if you feel like you're going to get paint all over yourself. $5 pays for your seat, and that pays for the supplies, your paint, your canvas, all that. $30 goes to the hosting nonprofit. They usually take about 2 hours, sometimes an hour and a half. We guide you through the painting all the way through. We like to use simple techniques that anybody can do at home, and we like to do paintings that are simple, but that, you know, if you're an experienced artist, you can make it all your own.
So if someone were to be in attendance of one of these painting fundraisers, would it be like, today we're going to paint this particular project, say it's a bird, today we're going to paint this bird, or is it all independent, different projects? Myself
or Alex will guide you through a painting that has been chosen by the organizer. So the one that we're about to do for St. Andrews Salty Cats, that one is a Christmas cat painting that we worked with Jackie to put together. We painted them a custom piece, and so everybody's going to be painting that, and they can choose if they want to do a dog or a cat silhouette, and we'll guide you through every single step. But if you want to come in and paint something completely different, you absolutely could. We're not going to stop you.
That's cool. And so where's that going to be with Jackie?
That is going to be over at our studio space at Myspace downtown. That's where we host all of our classes now. We did travel classes for 3 years, and now we are over at Myspace twice a month. That's where we are doing all of our classes now.
Sweet. And where are y'all located over there?
97 West Oak Avenue. It's across from the new Destination Panama City building.
Okay, wonderful. I'd love to come check y'all out sometime, especially for that one. I love Jackie. She's been on the show. I just saw Jackie yesterday. She had on some really cool fuzzy boots. It's even your boots.
She's always
like
got
cats.
on fuzzy boots or cat ears, one of the two.
Yeah. So when y'all are doing the projects, are they primarily always painting projects, or have y'all worked with other mediums before?
Our medium is always paint, especially for fundraisers, just because we can get the supplies a little cheaper than we can other things. Occasionally we will do wood cutouts and things for a private class, or we have a Christmas class coming up. It's going to be a wood door. But for fundraisers, it's always a canvas. Yeah.
That's cool. And are y'all using acrylic paint or watercolor or oil or?
We use acrylic paint that you can get at Hobby Lobby. We like Fine Works and Master's Touch just because it works really well. It's nice, thick paint. It's the paint that we use for our own projects at home.
Wonderful. And so what inspired you and Alex to begin this whole project?
So when we started out, we had both worked at another paint and sip place. And when we first started out, we were just doing fundraisers for the Bay County Veterans Center. They were wanting to put together a fundraiser they wanted free art therapy for some of their veterans with PTSD. Alex was actually going to teach it, but they needed money for supplies. So that was our first few fundraisers, was getting all the money together for all of their supplies. And then from there, we had really good turnouts. We sold out all of our first fundraisers. So we thought, let's just start seeing if we could do private classes and things. And with the hurricane and with COVID, we've fallen back to mostly doing fundraisers because we've seen that there's a much bigger need for fundraisers. A lot of local nonprofits have seen a drop in donations the last 2 years, which makes sense with everything going on. So that's part of why we decided to move over to a nonprofit model and mostly focus on fundraisers.
Well, I think it's really cool what y'all are doing, especially with the veterans. What was that whole experience like?
So that was actually really great. We raised enough money with our first 2 fundraisers to pay for art therapy free of cost to the veterans. We raised enough to pay for art therapy for them for a year. We also raised enough for 6 months of music therapy with a guitarist who came in and taught, I think it was 6 or 8 veterans to play guitar. They did 6 months of classes with that. So that was really great. And we still work with them. Alex is kind of our veteran liaison because she herself is an Air Force veteran. So she is actually doing a veteran fundraiser this weekend over at one of the VFW posts.
Well, that is awesome. Thank y'all for doing all that y'all do. I'm glad someone is doing this. And so how many people typically participate in your classes?
A typical class is anywhere from 15 to 20 people. At our studio space over at Myspace downtown, we try to cap it at 20 to 25 people tops, just so that everybody, has plenty of room, can move around the room pretty freely. We have done classes of, I believe our biggest class was 55. We packed out a hotel lobby for a fundraiser. So we were in the conference room and some of the people ended up spilling out into the lobby actually because we didn't have quite enough space. But typically a class is between 15 and 20 people.
Wonderful. You've been helping Heather out. Heather Parker over here at Floriopolis.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, and thank you. It's awesome. The mural on the side of Sunjammers looks fantastic. And so you've been helping out with some Floriopolis things lately. What have y'all been working on?
The biggest project right now is the Sunjammers mural. Heather is doing a fantastic job on that, and I'm very grateful that she asked me to come help her out with it. That's the biggest project by far that we're working on, is trying to get that done. I think the goal is before Thanksgiving, so hopefully that will be complete and ready to go in the next couple of weeks.
It looks like it's getting close.
Oh, she is spending a lot of time on that. I have not put in nearly the hours she has on it, and it's coming along really well.
Heather's amazing. And
Heather's like the Energizer Bunny. She just really never stops.
Exactly. I always find myself asking myself, when I'm thinking about something like, what would Heather Parker do? She'd keep going.
She would just keep going till it's done.
Yes. And what's something that, as an artist, that you wish the public knew about the life of a creative person that they might not know?
The finished product is almost never what it started out as. I don't think people know, especially when they get commissioned work or like a mural, how many hours go into creating a design, how many hours go into researching for a design, how much thought goes into a piece. Sometimes, you start a piece, start it over again, start a piece, completely revamp it halfway. I think a lot of people think the artists just kind of throw something on paper or canvas or a wall, but there's a lot of thought and effort that goes into every piece that they make. Even pieces for like fundraisers, especially if it's like a commission piece for a specific nonprofit, there's a lot of thought that goes into making sure it looks like what someone wants to paint or like something that they would want to take home.
I believe it. It sounds a lot like the songwriting process, especially if you have like, say, a commissioned song. It never ends up the way you started out, I guess you could say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I can't imagine trying to write a song for somebody. I bet that it is kind of a just work in progress the whole time until it's finished.
For a lot of people, yeah. So what do you love about St. Andrews, and how'd you first get acquainted with this area?
So when I first moved back here in, it was 2015, my very first apartment was over off Calhoun Avenue. So I would walk down here all the time with my dog and, go to Amavita. My wife and I actually got engaged at Amavita.
Wow.
So, yeah, we used to get coffee there all the time. And I just love the walkability of St. Andrews. I love that I can walk from Amavita to Floriopolis and there's 3 people that I know just between, those 3 blocks. And I just love the atmosphere of St. Andrews. It's a very small town sort of feeling. And like I said, you kind of know everybody around here, which is kind of nice.
Me too, and I hope we don't lose that. That's one of the
Right.
things I love about here too. I grew up here. I used to catch the school bus out in front of Dan's Pond, and like you said, it's actually gotten a lot more walkable than it used to be. It's improved in that respect.
Right.
Yeah. What are your creative intentions for the rest of the year?
So the rest of the year, I'm actually working on a skateboard series that I started last year. My goal is to try and finish that up by the spring. I've got a couple of people that want to show it, so I got to get that scheduled once it's finished. Definitely getting that Sunjammers mural finished. We've got several fundraisers coming up between now and the end of the year, so trying to focus on getting all that stuff done and probably moving on to some new projects by about February.
Awesome. So I saw on Facebook the other day and maybe Instagram that you have a new video series happening. What's up with that?
So I realized that I have met, especially in the last probably 2 years since we've really been focusing on fundraisers, I've met a lot of really cool people that I had never heard of outside of, a couple of them I've listened to their podcast or a friend of a friend introduced me to them. So I wanted to try to give them a platform since we work with them through Palmetto Paint. The series is called Watching Paint Dry. We just filmed and I put up the first episode yesterday with Nicole Phillips of Lavished. So I'm hoping I can get maybe one of those done a month. It might be more, might be less, depends on the month. But I really wanted to focus on talking to people that do something cool for Bay County or in Bay County and kind of contribute to even just our project, which is making every canvas count. So people that we work with through Palmetto Paint, the nonprofit organizers that we work with, people like yourself who do a podcast in a small town.
Well, that's awesome. And I would love to come and be part of that. And when I'm taking my editing breaks this afternoon, I'm definitely going to make a point to watch your first episode. When I saw it, I was like, ooh, this looks exciting.
Oh, absolutely. Let me know what you think. We're still working it out, but kind of like the format of video, especially when you can just talk to somebody and paint while you talk.
Absolutely. I used to love to watch Bob Ross, and not just for watching his incredible painting abilities, but for all just the cool things he would say.
Bob Ross is actually how I learned how to paint. Yeah,
Really?
I was watching Bob Ross.
Wow. That's awesome. Is there anything else new on the horizon besides your video series?
Besides the video series, like I said, hopefully our nonprofit status will be completely official by the end of We've got a fundraiser for Salty Cats that is next Saturday. It is, I think there's 3 seats left. So it is 3 seats from sold out. We have a fundraiser for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. That will be December the 10th, I believe. Those are the last 2 fundraisers of the year. Yeah.
Well, fantastic. And I wish you well with both of those things. So for our listeners, if they wanted a seat at any of these events, what would they need to do to obtain their seats?
The quickest way to see any of our events is to go to our Facebook page, Palmetto Paint PC, click on the events tab. All of our events are in there. There's ticket links in there. You can also go to our website. It is a Weebly site, so everything is super easy to purchase, whether you're reserving a seat or if you are paying for an event in full. But all of our stuff is on Facebook. We update that more than just about any of our social media. And everything is on the website immediately after it's posted on Facebook. So tickets can be bought the second the event is live.
Wonderful. And what's the best way to contact you if folks have questions?
The best way to contact us, message us on Facebook. Our email is palmettopaintpc@gmail.com. That's the quickest too. The phone number that is associated with the account, that's my cell phone number. So I tell people all the time, text me if you've got a question, because if you call, I probably will not answer. But yeah, the quickest way is definitely Facebook message or email us.
Well, that's fantastic. And again, thank you so much for everything that you and Alex and everybody who's involved in Palmetto Paint. Thank you for all that you're doing and the impact that you're making on our local communities. I hope you'll come back sometime, and I wish you well with your events throughout the end of the year. And until next time, keep St. Andrews salty.
Thank you for having me.
Here's a story from the St. Andrews Bay News this week in history from 1928. Rum and car theft land 2 in jail. Dan Halford and his nephew, Wybie Halford, said to hail from Midway, Alabama, are guests at the Hotel Decanon over on Masalina Bayou as a result of a sequence of tough breaks for the Alabama boys yesterday afternoon and last night. The first bad luck collected by the pair came yesterday afternoon when they smashed a wheel on the car they were driving while cutting a corner too close up to the west end of St. Andrews. According to the report of Officer M.A. Canant, who made the arrest, Wybie, who was tooling the old bus along, suffered from an optical obstruction by reason of too free indulgence in spirits fermenti, and possibly turned the wrong corner. When the crash came, Uncle Dan is said to have absented himself from the scene and did not show up again until last night when Deputy Sheriff C.N. Mutterspaw found him in Reverend S.D. Monroe's car, which had been taken from near the Baptist Church in Panama City. The car was in a ditch beside the concrete highway near Millville Junction, where it had been stuck when the driver attempted to turn around. I want to thank y'all for pressing play and for all the kindness that you've shown the podcast. You may have noticed every episode is ad-free. Because of your generous donations, I am able to keep the lights on, so to speak, and ensure an ad-free experience for everyone. Thank y'all so much. If you have found value in these episodes and would like to make a one-time donation, please visit our Ko-fi page. I'll link it in the show description. Be sure to check out Palmetto Paint's new video series on YouTube, which is called Watching Paint Dry. If you enjoyed our theme song, it was written by me and recorded by Dave Schwartz on the campus of Gulf Coast State College. The rest of the show was written and recorded by me in my music room. Till next time, keep St. Andrews salty.
Red lipstick, so thick, and a push-up bra. Tramp stamp, stretch marks, and a lacy thong, 'cause she's a Jezebel. St. Andrew Jezebel, 'cause she's a Jezebel.